gonna start, unless anyone has to grab drinks slash food slash bathroom, uh, all the good things.
No, get it.
Slay. Does everyone have their sheets?
Yes.
Slay.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Um, in that case, we're gonna start with a tiny bit of a retcon. Because upon listening back, I realized I said some, excuse me, slightly incorrect things. Um, but very, very, very fixable. Uh, I was incorrect in some of the people that I said were out of the loop or were currently in the loop still. So, those of you in the room and thus are out of the loop are Bella, Autumn, Contradiction. There is a projection of presumably H there. There is Mary there, and there is indeed Casey there. However, when Seh had been telling you guys who was still in and who was still out, she did say to you, Prophet, the retcon is that she said that Norelia has been out of the loop, but she doesn't know the details.
Yes.
And that Locke was apparently pulled out of this most recent loop earlier than you guys, but again did not give details. The H projection is literally like faceless pale blue. You know, just a form.
Gotcha. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad it's labeled.
Well, it had spoken to you when you walked in, and you recognized the voice as like the one that H used when like speaking aloud to you. So
Fair.
you at least know it's H. The exactly Ned. The others don't necessarily know that that's H, much less who H is.
I don't think I've mentioned them.
I think you've just kind of said "my friend" a few times, but
I think all I said was, "Well, I guess I'm in the blackmail gang now."
but where we had left off, you guys were still largely in the dark about many things. Are gathered at the entryway to this meeting room that overlooks a vast, multicolored expanse of space with a large, almost seemingly crack in reality in the center. There are a few people in this room, most people in this room you guys recognize, sitting down, leaning together and talking about things, are who you guys at a glance could easily identify, though a number of them look different. Bella, as they lean in to talk with their companions, looks, to those of you who know about Bella, which now is sadly only Penny because Elodie is not currently here. Elodie is here and present, but is going to leave to go do other things. I'm not going to do the Thanos snap route. But looks noticeably undead, with faintly glowing red eyes and kind of a gray aspect to the skin, with unhideable fangs and these like spindly fingers, and whenever she moves there's a kind of smoke or blur quality whenever they move too quickly, you know, like a brief after image. Contradiction looks about the same, still red-skinned tiefling. Autumn looks bulkier and broader with these thick claws on his fingertips and kind of like faint dark fur patches at points on their body. Locke looks the same and is leaning against the back wall, kind of looking at something on a small screen. Mary is sitting with the other three, kind of also bent in, talking to them. And he looks largely the same, though something about the quality of the air around him seems somewhat hazy, and the tips of his hair kind of fade into mist at the edges. And someone else who is sitting at this table, looking deeply discontented to be there and not interacting with anyone at all, is a young woman. Hold on, I have... If anything was easy to have, I have a reference image of her somewhere, because I want to make sure I'm saying the right things. Hold a moment, I apologize. Do I not? I could have sworn. Okay. Yes. Who, sadly, again, only Benny is able to identify as, Shade, or Casey, as you know her. A young African-American woman, with tightly curled hair. Though, again, elements of her look different. You're looking at her from kind of like an angle, so it's difficult to see all of her, but her skin has a very noticeable, like, bark-like texture to it, and what you can see of her joints, which is mainly her hands, seem very segmented. I will take that. Casey or Shade?
Thank you.
Yeah. And standing at the front of the room, kind of watching these goings on as H the projection is talking to the others, is a pale purple tiefling with dark hair and a white streak, with some exposed mechanical body parts, pretty clearly an android that once had a maybe cover or disguise of false skin, but is no longer being kept up. Yes, Chimchar is fighting the demons in the background. I apologize. He wants me to open the window, but it's cold out and raining, and I don't want to. But as you guys enter the room, do you think any of you say anything or do anything before anyone else reacts?
No. Nope.
Nope.
You first.
Chimchar fighting the demons. Thank
Maybe
you.
Chimchar first.
Yeah, let him speak. Let him
Let it
cook.
go.
Alright. Then, as the four of you enter, well, five, because Elodie is there, but Elodie's just not going to talk right now. You know how it be
Yeah, no,
sometimes.
no.
Melody's still sleeping.
Yeah, let Elodie ask the question. It's
Yeah.
the real play here. Let them cook.
But there's kind of a pause, and H doesn't really initially address you guys. Casey obviously does not either. But the four sitting at the table and Locke all look up at you guys and begin to smile and give various greetings, having a varied collection of reactions. Lacuna, Locke gives you a little, like, chin nod, a quiet hey, and there's kind of like a dark expression on her face that you see, that you've only really seen before when she's trying to, like, deal with a very difficult solution and is trying to figure out how to handle it. Bella, Contradiction, and Autumn all look varying degrees of relieved and concerned and happy. Mary looks glad to see you, but you can see like a clear tension to him, and for a moment it seems like he's about to jump up out of his seat, but you can see like him restrain himself and just kind of fidget nervously as he calls out a hello.
Okay. I'm shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the holographic image projected of H turns towards you all and says, "Ah, good that you are all awake and able to join us. Please, take your seats." And kind of gestures at the collection of chairs.
Very.
I'll do that.
Yeah, stiffly, kind of like.
I've seen thousands of timelines.
Yeah, but I'll just take a seat.
Yeah, same.
Just gonna casually go sit down.
All of my bones are cracking.
Yeah, you've been laying
Yeah.
down for a long time. Yeah, all of you have been laying down for a while. There isn't any,
Yeah.
like, pain, but there's a definite stiffness.
Yeah.
My joints haven't been oiled in 1,000 years.
Hasn't
I'm
been
just
1,000
fucking
years.
squeaking.
No bone syndrome.
It's been 2 years that you guys have been laying
I
down.
still haven't.
Oh my god.
All my shit is loud.
And Laura, Prophet looks different, right?
He does.
Do you want to? Who knows? Maybe this is the first moment Prophet notices when he tries to sit down.
Yeah. So had a rejig of his sheet a little bit. He is now a Strix, and notably has huge wings on his back. He is still all black with like the white eyes, the white hair, but he is notably taller and large black wings.
Bird boy.
Slay.
What kind of wings? Like raven wings? What are we talking?
I think they're more bat-like. I think is the vibe here.
Slay.
Sick. Everyone can fucking fly.
Bitch, not me.
Not me!
I'm a land animal.
Damn, good luck.
I'm not even an animal, leave me alone!
Yeah.
All right. You guys take seats. And as you're sitting down, Autumn begins to lean across the table, presumably to ask questions. But H raises a hand. Please, I would like to run through some things with you all before we do pleasantries. I presume you all have awakened without any issues. For those of you who might be experiencing changes, I apologize for that, though it is sadly unavoidable. Has anyone found any issues in particular? They glance mainly at you guys, since the others have already been in the room for a little.
I'll kind of raise my hand just a little. Like if nobody else is gonna say it, I'll say it.
Yes,
Kind of thing.
Mr. Simone.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's a problem or nothing, but yeah, Lacuna's like a moth now.
Yes. Things such as the new appendages, and they gesture in the direction of Lacuna and Prophet's wings, and other various visual changes that you might note are a byproduct of the mutation your original body experienced in the first timeline. It's sadly not something we can fully reverse. You might find that your body has new abilities that you don't quite remember learning or previously being able to do. But most things such as that can be chalked up to that previous life. For those of you who need who need or want therapy. We have people available both for the mental health, but also for memory recovery. Memory recovery therapy is a difficult and can be intensive process, but it is something that is available both to those who wish for it and those who require it if they are trying to recover needed information. I'm sorry about my cat.
Juice, I want you to know that you typing flavor is free is the funniest shit. I don't know why. I'm gonna get that fucking tattooed as a tramp stamp. Flavor is free, baby.
Flavor is free.
Yeah. Um. Right. Are there any what's the lighting like in this room? Sorry, I'm really congested.
No, you're fine. It's a very clinical light coming from
Right.
above, but also there is some light coming from outside, as there are large floor-to-ceiling bay windows that allow you to see into the interior ring of the space station.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Lacuna, how do you feel about that? I'll point up at the lights on
You
the
mean
ceiling.
the light?
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about light?
Do you feel drawn to it at all?
No.
All right.
This is a microaggression.
Feels very plainly irregular aggression.
I'm making jokes about you being like a dog or something. Like, why would I do that?
Uh,
That's the first thing you said to Lacuna in the span of several years. To be
Yeah.
The first thing you
Yeah,
say to me,
yeah,
when we all
yeah.
die, we all come back. We all die in the Matrix, we come back, and you ask me how I feel about lamps because I'm a moth now. I see how it is.
Yeah. Well, listen. Last our relationship, where we left off, we were soup buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were just shooting the shit, and my memory's not too clear. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it light. I'm gonna keep it goofy. How do you feel about lamps, bitch?
How do you feel about lamps?
I feel mostly impartial.
I'm also impartial to lamps.
I prefer lamps to overhead lighting, I will say.
Yeah, it kind of washes everyone out, I guess. Like, I don't think you can really, make it so overhead lights aren't a thing where it's like, you're gonna get a headache if you're sitting in that for too long, I
Hey,
feel like.
Lacuna.
What?
Go ahead and roll me a will saving throw.
Lamp?
I don't know what that means. I'm afraid, though.
So you have 3 types of
Okay.
saving throws, and you should have
Yeah.
different stats attached to each of them.
Yeah, I see him. I see my will save.
How's your
I'm
will
just
save?
scared as to why you're making me do it.
If
That's
there's a lamp.
17.
There's something about that lamp, but you're able to ignore it,
It calls to
It's
you.
my inherent violence against the sun. I'm blaming it on that. It's my primal drive to obliterate the sun.
But if nobody else speaks up about anything, H will continue.
Okay.
Alright. Some of you... Stop it. Sorry, cat.
He's so goofy with it.
That
He
just
is.
jump scared me.
Yes.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. It was funny.
He has the zoomies. For those of you who had magical capabilities before this, stop it! Now he's throwing open my closet door. My God. For those of you who had access to magical capabilities before, you might find that it's, well, quite different now. We've found that some of our people that we've pulled from the loops have developed entirely new abilities. Others lost them entirely. And others, simply, sadly, could not cope with the changes, both physically and mentally. So I hope you will understand if you are under some light supervision for the next couple days. We will not be monitoring you, more encouraging you to stay in safe areas and around those who can help if you experience any issues. Of course, you will not be forced to do as such. Alright. Now, I believe one of the more pressing questions that most of you will have is, and H kind of cuts themselves off as the door slides open with a faint hiss, and another person enters. A person you all recognize. A medium height guy with kind of pale blue skin with curved horns that fade to pink at the edges, pale hair. It's Professor Yurkiel. He looks weary, more stress lines than any of you remember him having. And his arm is in a intense looking cast, like a nearly full arm cast, his left arm. But he enters the room, gives a faint smile, seeing you all, and H says, Director, lovely of you to join us. Everyone, this is Director Yurkiel. He is the current, I suppose you could say, Director of Sciences for our initiative. Yurkiel gives a wave of his hand. All of that's a bit too fancy for me. I'm glad to see you all up and awake. I apologize, H. I know we were supposed to have another, but she was displeased with how things were going, so I spoke with her separately. And he walks towards the front of the room, kind of like very clearly favoring his left side, to go stand with H. H says, of course, Director. Not a worry at all. Would you like me to pass any concerns along to the other two directors? No. Nothing of that sort. I've got it sorted. I already spoke to medical about it.
Do we know the name of this place we're at?
You know the station is called the Threehold.
Okay, in that case, can I ask a question?
Yes, of course, Mr. Simone.
Yeah, where's the dragon?
The dragon. Oh, you mean, Agent Wynn?
Yeah, I guess.
I believe he's in decompress right now. I can request for him to come and speak with you all when he's done. I believe he has to still speak with the other directors about a review of this loop.
Right.
Might I inquire why?
Just, well, I mean, we robbed him, right? So.
Yes. That was an
okay.
unexpected development, but from what we understand, that was from interferences from those who were aware of the loop and were trying to disturb our operations.
So there were, like, other instances where we weren't blackmailed and made to, like, rob a guy?
Yes.
Well, that's just great.
It is
So-
not... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So Agent Compass and Noaz were like acting outside of their role, or what?
Yes, so the situation with Agents Noir, Compass, and Reverence is that they were originally sent into the loop under other specifications and went through one or two doing what they needed to do, what they reported they were truly doing, all those kinds of things. Though from reports we can see that they began to be collecting information on a I suppose, separate project, the Arcani project. And upon entering the 10th loop, they approached the project, proved that they did have knowledge of the future, and were instated as leading members of the project for unknown reasons exactly. And all we know is that since then they have been attempting to act against our operations, disturb them as much as possible.
Speaking of,
yes.
We never met an Agent Reverence, but I personally would be quite interested in the future. What's that about? Where did he go?
Well, sadly, in interrupting our operations, they made sure they had a proper exit before defecting. And so thus when the loops end and are put on hold for a couple hours so that we can do our reviews, see what needs to be changed, make plans, they do not remain within the loop and they do not return here. Their minds go elsewhere. We do not know where. So, sadly, there is not much I can do for you on that front. Of course, you're welcome to look at the public records that have recordings of everyone we have here, our agents, those kinds of things, but there is a fair amount of information that's redacted to non-initiative members.
He'll just nod.
Right. So I guess that just kind of. Are we like doing something or?
Well, that is the hope. But of course, we would not wish to enroll you into something without your permission or consent. So, what we have brought you out of the loop to do is to discuss this. You will, of course, have a few days to make this decision. But the choices before you right now are, if you decide to not be involved with this at all, to leave this to us to continue our investigations and attempts to fix what our world has experienced, then we shall put you back in the loop. We will sadly have to remove your memories, but your bodies will rest here safely while your minds rejoin the shred of your consciousness that remains within the loop. And you shall go about none the wiser, believing
Oh, that
your...
sounds horrifying.
I am not going back there, to be clear.
Well, you'd be surprised the number of people who, upon thinking about it for a while and learning about the state of the world, they do decide to go back in. But, of course, there's no pressure either way. We cannot put you back into the loop with your memory intact at this time. That is only available to agents who are seeking out specific information, and I'm sure you can understand that we're a lot more careful about that. What with the whole... Well, he makes a vague gesture. Defectation. Or, if you decide you're not interested in joining the initiative and helping us do what we can to fix what has happened, then you are, of course, free to live on 3 holes as long as you desire. We had one person who even requested to essentially just sleep until everything was good. Not to be put back into the loop, not to join the initiative, but just to sleep. So we do have someone who took that option. If you do desire to not be part of the initiative and remain outside of the loop, we give a sum of money, equipment, and a paid position here at the Freehold if so desired, or if you wish to leave the Freeholds, we will secure you transportation out. Though sadly,
Wow, this sounds a lot better than the dystopia we were living in.
Well, we have a lot less people to take care of. That is, of course, by no means a measure of support towards what our world was like before it was destroyed. But besides that, the main reason you were pulled out was to request for you to join this initiative. This is redacted information so that I cannot fully talk with you about it until you are members. But for various reasons, all of you were dubbed suitable for helping to investigate this and to stop it. Some of you because of your position within the loop, what you might have had access to, what might be buried in your memories of past loops. Others because of things you went on to do in your original life before time was reset. Many of you were doing highly pertinent things, and from our understandings, we're essentially trying to do what the initiative is now trying to do. Figure out what happened and a way to fix it. Is this explanation sufficient?
Yeah.
Now, and H gestures with a hand, and a small screen, like appears on the table in front of each of you, like a projected screen against the flat of the table. And he says, so, I assume many of you have questions, and I believe that this will help you sort that out. Hold on. And flickering onto the screen, an individual screen in front of each of you, is a small program that has a search bar and simply says Survivors Registry. If there's anyone you wish to check on, we would like to offer you that opportunity now.
So is this people on the ship, people in the loop? What is this?
Any recorded information we have on anyone, pulled from a collection of sources, both records of those who survived the initial destruction of our planet, from, records of, what's the word I want? From census records, to, just anything we could find. We have tried to make as complete lists as possible, but of course there's always going to be gaps. You could ask.
Let's go. So I had a cat down in the loop that I was quite fond of, to be honest. Will this thing work on him? He had a name and everything.
I mean, you can certainly try. I don't know if I've ever seen pets listed in there, at least separately, but I have seen them sometimes listed underneath their owners' profiles when it was pertinent.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we
Uh,
should do Martel.
Damn, I guess I'm typing my cat in there before anyone else.
You really
And
jumped on it.
Yeah.
his name is Nito,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Looking up just Nito or Nito Akuma, nothing comes up. But you could always search your own name and see if Nito is mentioned in there.
Oh, I'll do that.
Alright, upon looking yourself up, you come up pretty quickly. You've got unique name. You don't have to look at a couple options or something. But it immediately upon opening your file, and you can see like nearby, like I don't know, Autumn looking up his file, and you can see that seems to be relatively straightforward. Yours, on the other hand, has a lot of parts that are redacted.
Oh yeah.
Most of it seems to be about your later life, your life within the loop, and any references to your family, except for your parents, so essentially your brother. Though there is a note at the bottom that it was recorded that when you fled off-world, when it was initially destroyed in the first timeline, the ship's registry did show that you had a pet with you. It does not specify pet name or pet type, it just says pet.
Let's go. Huge dub.
You're not sure if that means Nito is somewhere here on board or what, but you were told that essentially everyone on board is those who survived the first day. So you can assume Nito is somewhere.
So you said stuff about my family was redacted?
Stuff about specifically your brother, you would assume, because it mentions, like, parent, blank. Second parent, blank. And then it says siblings, and then it's redacted.
Okay, so what would I get if I searched his name?
Upon searching his name, it is entirely redacted, and if you try to open it, prompts for a password.
How many characters has it got space for, or is it just like a blank, like,
It's
bar?
just blank bar.
You got it. First try, you got it.
Yeah. That's me, I guess. I guess Marshall, as a group, we'd want to look up.
Yeah, upon looking up Marshall, similarly, many parts are redacted, or marked as unknown. There is also a small, like, rectangle symbol that's yellow, and at the bottom the rectangle is like a V. Almost like, a little bookmark symbol. And upon, like, tapping on that symbol, maybe for more information, it says flagged for review. You are not sure what that exactly means.
Ruh-roh.
So
Row.
The mystery remains a mystery.
everything we want to know is redacted.
How do we get...
That simple.
Professor, I'm fucking... This is weird. How do we get shit unredacted?
Well, you do have to be a member of the initiative to...
Can I join and then leave?
Not exactly, sadly.
Like, dip my toes in and pull them out because it just don't feel right?
Well, one, you can't join right this second. We would want
Right,
to
yeah, makes sense.
make sure you were all good first.
Right. Like those folks who didn't adjust too well to not having their magic anymore.
Yes. Or,
Right.
the knowledge of everything being gone.
Not everything. Well, I guess. If anybody else has, like, stuff they want to look up, because I got a list, so I'll go last.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should all look ourselves up because I want to know how much is redacted, right? That's all. I'm just curious how many black bars there are. So I'll look up a couple people, but I'm just gonna get myself out of the way now.
Alright, so you're looking up yourself first?
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll go with it.
So your file doesn't have much redacted, and what is redacted doesn't seem to actually be about you. There's like a section that mentions, it seems like your like early life isn't known about and seems to resume with like around maybe when you became the Tinker. It seems there is knowledge, that what happened to you, you did to yourself. Though it doesn't go very in depth on that. A collection of various details, vaguely references maybe some minorly and maybe more majorly illegal things you might have done before.
What did I do that was illegal?
You sold
What have I
magical items.
That's legal.
No, it was not legal. That's why you had a
They
dealer.
were infusions. They were not magical items. That's different. The law doesn't cover that.
But the part that is redacted is when it refers to your time working at Sharpiva, and specifically, like what department you worked in, details about what that department handled, like that kind of thing. So it's less about you specifically,
Okay.
and it seems information connected to that is white. There is a note at the end where there seems to be a reference. It begins to reference what you did after Dormandel was destroyed and you went off-world, went to do other things. It references something about a metalloid, or you're not really sure what that means. There's like words here and there that are redacted. And then at the ending point, it says specifically, contact Ortha if you need to know more. And it says this name.
Oh, that's a useful name. All right. Well, we're gonna be here a while. You answered my question, and now I have another name to look up. But I'll let someone else take one.
Hell yeah. Who's going next?
You hear a long scroll unfold, unfurl.
Yes. Yes.
It's still going.
Yeah.
There's one that matters the most to me, so I'm just gonna look up that one like initially and see where that takes me.
Sure.
I'm gonna look up Elijah Simone.
Sure. Hold on, I'm double checking something. Why can nothing be easy for me?
Should I list the reasons?
Apparently. Okay. So, looking up Elijah Simone, it seems fairly short and to the point. It references what school he went to, you know, that he was a shifter, you know, who he lived with, who his parents were. It seems to be just very, like, face value facts that might have been, say, in a citywide census.
Right.
There is a note at the end that he was a survivor, went
Thank
off worlds, with it lists yourself and your aunt. Apparently, all three of you first were evacuated to another planet together, but then further went off the grid, just the three of you. It makes note that Elijah arrived alone at, I will type, oh, that's spelled wrong. Apparently, Elijah arrived alone at Port Cast, at which point all record of him was lost. And that was in the original timeline.
Right.
But he is still within the loop right now.
Right. So he's still like he's still a pod boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I just want to like I'll be really quick with it. I just want to like make sure my family is like alive, and I guess I'll deal with the consequences if they're not very quickly.
Yeah. So, let me see the part where...
Like I know my dad was on fucking death row.
Yes. So, your aunt, still alive, within the loop.
Cool.
Your parents are both still alive. They are within the loop. Though when you try to look at anything beyond the, again, very basic, like, census facts about them, Their information is redacted and password protected.
And that's what you get for working at a fucking cult, I guess, or whatever the fuck.
That's how I get you.
Okay. Cool. Then like just finally, just these last two.
Mm-hmm.
Diane Tor, and I don't know if I knew Frank's full name. I'm gonna say I knew his full name.
Mm-hmm. You could probably find his full name in Diane's stuff, but
Right, yes. There's like a hyperlink.
Yeah, looking her up, she did survive the first day of the destruction. So thus she is here in a pod and is alive in the loop. However, it notes she did die on the second day of destruction.
What does that mean?
So she is alive here because everyone who survived the first day is safe here.
Right.
However, in the original timeline, she did die pretty much immediately after that point.
Fucking cutting it close.
Yeah.
What about Frank?
And
what
you,
about...
you do find his full name, and I will write it here in case you ever need it. Franklin Heiss. And he died within the first few hours. So, a shred of him is still within the loop. Essentially, how it was explained to you was that, like, the world's memory of the person is still within the loop.
Right. So
but they are
his
dead.
physical body is dead.
Yes.
Right.
There is
What
nothing
about
to pull out
Asphalt?
of the loop.
What about the dog?
The dog is dead.
Oh. I'm adding your campaign to Does the Dog Die? Oh my god.
You think this elderly dog would have made it, or even
No, you know what?
left their
Asphalt
master?
Asphalt had a good fucking run. Good fucking run, that dog.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's it. That's all I got.
Alright.
There's more, but I'll wait.
Does anyone else wish to look up something?
Yeah, but I feel like I could just, like, ask, considering,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my aunt is a pretty prominent figure, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just be like, anyone know about my aunt? Otherwise, I'll look it up.
You just say that out loud.
Yeah.
H, like, gives, like, a faint, kind of electronic sounding laugh. And Yurgiel also laughs as well, as H replies, "Yes, your aunt, Miss Eminence Sharp, is indeed alive. I don't know how much information you could find within her file, but she is currently outside of the loop. She is, in fact, one of our 3 directors."
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
She is specifically director of development. Was one of the main architects of, and he kind of trails off, just kind of gesturing their hand out towards the bay window, where you can see the other half of the full circle that is the 3-hold station.
Yeah, I remember her showing that to me, actually. We were, before the world blew up, I guess. So,
Yes.
I guess that track.
Heavensward.
Yeah.
She was not part of creating the initial Heavensward, but it took a fair amount of work to convert a floating city into a full functioning space station. Do you ask if she's a moth?
Yeah, I'll ask.
Nope.
What do you say, Betty?
Actually, I don't want to microaggression any further this evening.
Yeah.
I feel as though, you know, I have committed enough cardinal sins. You know, the cardinal sin of microaggression.
Yeah.
Uh, I will abstain.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just wait to see. Oh, but on that note of wondering where your like aunt is,
Mm.
it makes me reminds me. Uh, Homegirl had a fucking kid.
Yeah. Are you looking him up?
Yeah, look up Harley.
Uh, Harley's file is completely redacted. Uh, and is labeled as dead. There is no further details beyond dead and completely redacted and password protected.
What the fuck? Well, I guess you inherit it now. Shit, okay.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers.
Okay. Benny will close that tab out pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
He got big redacted. The final redaction. Death.
Does anyone else look anything up?
Yes, I want to look up Norelia.
Yeah. Looking up Norelia, there are a couple small details that are redacted. But it lists her as currently alive, and currently in the loop. However, as an agent.
Oh, real?
Real.
Is that a relationship tab?
It's like Facebook.
She got a husband? Yeah, it's like Facebook. She in a relationship? Does it tell me that? She married?
No, it does not mention relationships. It mentions her as being an agent. It mentions division number 3. You're not sure what that means. And it says that she is currently an undercover agent.
I see.
Lacuna, I've got a question for you. Oh, sorry, real quick. On Norelia's file, it does say that her dad died, in the destruction.
No!
So,
Her dad was a DILF!
Professor Fontink is dead.
Oh, fun thing.
No. What the fuck? He was hot as hell.
You're not catching a break here.
This is so sad.
But Lacuna, do you look up either of your parents?
Fuck them. I don't
So-
give a shit.
So you don't look it up at all?
Nope.
Ned, I am holding out a bone to you.
Do it.
I'll look up your parents.
Listen, they may have blown up. Actually, I don't even
What's
know
your
if we're on
surname?
the
Quick.
planet.
So looking them up, Lacuna, their status is marked as unknown. And one of the very first things it says in their files, beyond, again, the basic, like, census facts, is that the loop... So you know that the loop is the 1 month before, essentially, the planet exploded. They evacuated Dormandel 2 months before the explosion. They fled even the plane of fire and went off-world on a secret craft. Apparently
They were gonna let me die there.
Apparently
Sounds about right.
Apparently they were out in orbit until the warp gate was finished. the literal day before destruction and immediately evacuated through the warp gate.
Sounds about right. They were just gonna let me die, I guess. They were like, man, good luck.
There is a note that says the details of their evacuation, the reasonings why or how or who exactly went are unknown. It says they have never reached out to the Threehold in any form. And that that is known is that they are somewhere called the quote Burning Archipelago, but it's unsure which city they're in.
So
You're
your
like,
parents
"We
left you to
gotta go
die.
fire patient
Your
home."
cousin's dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
You're a moth.
Fine. Yeah.
Locke
Moth
is
like, I
here.
think a benefit.
The
I got
moth,
Locke.
the moth is the upside.
Yeah.
Nobody got me. I know Locke got me.
So true.
Yeah.
I got one. My parents. What about my brother?
Looking up your brother, he was left behind and died.
What?
Bro.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Your parents suck,
his-
bro.
His file is marked with that same symbol that was on Marshall's, though, that says under review.
Oh.
Oh, huh. Oh, can we look up the heck?
Gendril?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Andrew?
So,
Gendril, why
looking
not?
up Gendra Hill, she is marked as survived within the loop, but also outside of the loop. There is again that tag that says under review, and there is a note at the bottom that has a set of coordinates and says, if you need to speak with Gendra Hill, please contact me, Director Y.
Your guild.
No. At least if you
Oh.
ask your Yale.
God, do I call him Mr. Yurgiel? What the fuck do I call this fool?
Call him Dad. Anyways.
Fucking brother. Your most esteemed Yurgilness. How do I go about getting in contact with this here Gander Hill? If I perhaps wanted to do that, which I don't, but out of sheer curiosity.
He steps over and takes a look and then kind of winces. Those, coordinates are within the husk, which is... Could certainly get to it. It's a bit dangerous, though, and I'd suggest waiting until you're a bit more cleared until you try to get to the husk.
Right. Right. Okay. I will...
I think Director D, though, has a route into the husk if you were perhaps interested. Though I don't believe they share it willy-nilly. Most people can't quite handle the husk.
I am incredibly resilient.
I'm sure.
Okay. I will close that. What's your idea?
Yeah. Can I look up both of my parents and scroll down to the part, like, I assume I saw, like, while other people were looking things up, where it said if they were dead or not. I am scrolling past everything it says about that and just looking to see if they're dead.
So,
Yeah.
looking up your mother, she is dead.
Good.
She
Next
died
one.
even before the loop.
Oh. Does it say the cause?
It does not. It did say that it was under police investigation at the time of the loop.
Great, get fucked. Next one.
The next one, your father is alive. He is here in a pod, still out in the loop.
Tinker has been silent. The only thing they have said is now just saying fuck and moving on. They have not said a word in this room. And they just close it and keep scrolling, I guess.
I will
Just a
say,
fuck.
the Tinker, do you look up any of your coworkers?
I was going to. I was just gonna let other people, but since you bring it up, I was
Slay.
gonna look up Marco.
Marco died in the destruction.
Okay, well, that was really efficient.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anything in his information that is outside what you might have expected or already known.
Right. Great. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that note.
Yeah.
I guess I'll look up. I have Parag here.
Mm-hmm.
Or Parag. I'll check. Why not?
Parag is currently alive, is not within the loop, has a tag that says under review, and says defected.
Defective?
Defected.
Oh,
ED.
defected. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I expected, but that's pretty much it. Let me double check.
If you look up Rukant,
That was next, yeah.
yes, Rukant is alive outside of the loop, and is marked as currently being a member of, quote, the Reset Initiative.
Alive outside the loop, part of. This is only names, right?
You're looking up only names, or?
Can you look up non-name things?
You can try. Prophet wasn't able to, look up a pet by
Okay,
name, but.
Sure. I guess I will just ask, I will just ask out loud, but probably H.
Mhm.
Because, yeah. What is, big air quotes, the Reset Initiative? And they, literally do the air quotes, and it's fucking squeaking, but,
The Reset Initiative is the initiative we've referenced a couple times now. That is the group that we are, the ones who...
Oh, sorry.
No,
Okay.
no, you're fine. We are the ones who care for the loop, who investigate the goings-on, and, try to figure out a way to reverse this all.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so someone in that who's not in the loop would just be around here somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. Making sense. I just didn't write down the name of it for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other names you might have looked up, Tinker, or no?
I'm scrolling, but someone else can go for it in the meantime while I'm checking.
Slay.
If we're all doing our parents, fuck it. I'll do my parents.
Your parents are both marked as alive, escaped the
Ooh.
first day, and they are, in the pods in the loop.
Pretty cringe.
Ooh. I have an idea.
Yes.
You know that person I fucking poked through on my introduction session?
Yeah, Marshall.
Oh, that was Marshall. Huh?
Yeah, that was Marshall's body.
I forgot. I'm
No.
having a day.
It'd be like that. No,
Yeah.
you ever just
I didn't
dissect
write
someone's body?
It's because I didn't write down the name there because I didn't know it. God fucking damn it. I'm having a day. All right. Well,
It'd be like that.
okay. Yeah, I don't know if I have any other names to look up. I'm gonna be real.
Slay. Alright, then if no one has any other things to look up.
Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Just real quick, what I know is Joy alive?
Looking up Joy, I think it was mentioned last time, but Joy is not alive. But did allow many people the chance to escape by suddenly having a, quote, unexpected
right.
outburst of magic.
Right.
Yeah.
Joy's dead. Cool.
Joy's
Cool.
brother is alive though, and
Fuck him.
is marked as being outside of the loop and living on Threehold.
Right.
His name is. Let me find it. Hold on. Dwan Choi, and he is currently on Threehold. It does
Okay.
not say where.
I'll make a note of that name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty. Then we make sure. That I. Nope, that's the wrong tab. Where is it? Okay, Slay. These other ones were for Elodie, so not pertinent at this moment. But as you all finished looking at this and are kind of, sitting trying to absorb the. Are you looking up your cop's name?
No, I just want to know.
Are you asking out of character or are you looking in character?
Out of character. I just want to know, is my cop dead?
Yes.
Thank God. All right, let's get rolling, boys.
Loop. Okay, Slay. Look up your van. Yeah,
What's
you're gonna
up,
look
van?
at the van license plate. If a van
never
was
know.
evacuated off world.
You never know. It is a possession. It could be here.
So, sorry. As you guys finish all this and kind of like sit back and absorb this for a little, H interrupts. So, I hope that you all have sufficiently researched anything that might have put your minds at ease. I'm sure you still have questions, are a bit lost, maybe tired. We have some temporary lodgings that you're, of course, welcome to use. We also have, I believe, some gear that some of you already have, which, yes, you guys already got yours last game. We ask no violence within the Threehold. We understand that tensions can get high, but this is a very close environment. And it is difficult to deal with those kinds of things when we don't exactly have a governing body, I suppose you could say. We welcome you to explore Threehold to as much as you feel up to and also are able to. Get adjusted for the next couple days. We have people you can check in with. If you need anything at all, if you wish to inquire about memory recovery services, you will have devices that you can use to inquire about as such. And if you decide at the end of the next 48 hours or so that you want to be put back in the loop, you will be. If you decide you wish to leave Threehold, you can. And if you decide you want to be part of the initiative, then, well, we can begin that process. Are there any other questions I can answer at this time?
I think that's it. Yep.
I think it's more just feeling some of this out, I guess.
Acclamation, if you
Yeah.
will.
Fair. I will warn you, we have had raiders before. So if you spy anyone acting suspiciously or committing, I suppose, unexpected violence, please report as soon as possible. Again, we've had raiders before, and we would really like to keep this place as safe from those who are trying to invade as much as possible. This is a very delicate operation, as I'm sure you can understand.
Is there a sort of baseline expected level of violence?
Well, some people like to remain physically fit. Some people like to spar. Sometimes in arguments there can be a level of physical violence, though of course if it gets beyond, I would say, shoving, then please either try to stop the violence or contact assistance if you believe that beyond your capabilities.
Contact a trusted adult. Alright.
Now, I have these for all of you. And there is a compartment in the center of the table that opens up. And you all see what might look like walkie-talkies with like straps on the back of them, but they have screens. So think Fallout.
Okay, you're giving me a Pip-Boy.
Yeah, essentially.
That's sick.
These are our current communication devices. There are, I guess you could say, better ones out there in the galaxy, but this is what we have right now that is easily available.
The group chat lives!
Yeah, I have to make sure you guys have means of texting each other, you know?
Yeah. I guess Lacuna needs a new.
Wow, again with this.
What? You're a moth!
Yeah, you literally said you had the moth antennae.
Yeah.
Test fin. Now, if you would like to find food or rest, there are maps on your communication devices. We welcome you to chat with each other. You're welcome to remain in this room, explore as you like. I believe you have some matters to take care of, Director. And Yurgiel kind of like startles and straightens up some. He looked like tired and a bit out of it, but he gives a short nod. Yeah, all of your rooms are all set up already. They're in the same area for right now. Once you guys decide what you want to do, then we can assign you proper lodging. But for now, we'll keep you nearby the medical department in case you have any issues. You'll have a couple of neighbors who are also going through similar processes there. Yeah, just reach out if you need anything from me specifically. But otherwise, if you make a request on your devices, then you can get connected to the rat personnel.
Like dialogue app. That's a niche reference. Right. Yeah. Thanks.
with that, the director gives a dip of his head and exits the room, still slightly limping and favoring his left side. Cagebreak, who has been silent, standing nearby this whole time, pushes off the wall, kind of gives you all like a sort of unreadable look, and then a grin, and hurries out of the room as well.
Love them.
Yeah. Me too. Heart. What would you all like to do? You are in a room with some people you know. Some people some of you don't know.
Yeah. God, this is like that first day with the fucking coffee in the room when we were all getting set up together.
All the icebreakers.
Yeah, no.
Man, here I thought I was done with these.
I guess I'll look at Lacuna. I'm not gonna give you another microaggression, don't worry. Uh, so, any kind of thoughts, I guess?
On what?
I mean, never mind. I don't know. I guess it's kind of a stupid question to ask either way now that I think about it.
You could ask whatever.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm mostly sorry about the lat comment. Sorry, one sec. I had to key smash. I was more so gonna ask about. I mean, I guess you and Harley weren't particularly close, yeah.
I mean, I kind of just learned we were related, I guess, but he seemed nice, so, better than most of my family, for sure.
Right. Right. Prophet, do we still have to call you Professor?
I don't think you ever had to call me professor unless you're in one of my classes.
Hey.
I mean, not that that's ever an obligation, because I guess it's kind of awkward now because we're on a space station and stuff.
Voice you're doing.
Profit works fine.
Right. Well, that's about all the questions I had.
Now that I think about it, I never even made it to one of your lectures before, you know, everything ended.
Yes, I did not recognize you, but I'm glad to know that my lectures were skippable.
I wasn't in the university yet. I didn't skip your lectures.
The world ended the Tinker's second day of school.
I showed up, I met you all, and then the world immediately exploded. This is not a slight against your lecture style.
I mean, I never got to go to any of your classes, so it could just be it was, but I'm gonna doubt it. I don't know. We can put it on the board. Did the world end because of Prophet's lectures?
I don't think so. But does that mean that like none of us graduated or anything, I guess?
If you would like to set up a kind of pseudo graduation ceremony,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to take that
Can you
mantle.
like knight me
Yeah,
with
you
a
can like
degree or some shit.
You can like hand out the
Let's-
diplomas.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the calendar. We'll keep on the back foot. It's a tentative yes for
Right.
now.
Right, yeah. I'll enter it into my Hoodle calendar just to remind myself that it's something we gotta set up.
Yeah, the world exploding kind of, I guess, doesn't really inspire me to try and, get a paper degree from the standpoint
Right.
of like, does it really matter at that point?
I think you're already fine enough. Get it, whatever the fuck it was you were doing to get by.
Well, yeah, it'll depend, I guess, on whatever.
I think the real degree is the friends we made along the way.
You know what, Prophet?
Yeah.
You're right. And I can say that because, I've graduated. Because, well, look at all these friends I got. I stand up abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for a walk real quick.
All right.
If any of you fine folks would like to join me, feel more free. We're on a space station, so I don't particularly feel like just staying cooped up in one room. Particularly because look at Casey. Bye.
I mean, I'll
So
go with you considering
Yeah.
we were just in a pod, so
Yeah. Exploring outside the pod definitely sounds like a better idea than staying inside one room that is not a pod.
I will say, Benny, when you look in Casey's direction, it looks kind of like maybe she had been looking at you, but she right away, like, turns away, like, chin on her hand, like, turning to look at, like, a wall.
Man.
Subtle.
Yeah. This wall's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's made of space metal.
And as you get up, Mary does, like, stand up a bit awkwardly next to you and says, I'm going to take a walk as well.
Wow.
do you want me to like hang back then, or?
No.
Multiple walks?
Yeah, hey, Mary, when'd you get up? Sorta, I guess, proverbial speaking.
I mean, out of the loop, or?
Yeah, like when'd you regain consciousness of your actual form?
Like 2 or 3 hours ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was pulled out of the loop a little early. I know that he kind of glances in Locke's direction. Some people were pulled out really early, but I think I was pulled out a couple hours before you guys. All the nurse really told me was those last few minutes there are a bit hazy. But essentially, the nurse said that something really bad had been about to happen to me, so they just figured to pull me out a little earlier.
What kind of Wilder? What kind of bad?
You don't know.
We all died.
Oh. Oh, right. You know what? I forgot. My bad.
You guys all died in your original timelines.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Right.
You might have almost died in the actual timeline, I guess.
Right. Nothing, anything sort of devastating befall you that you kind of want to keep the mood somber, or can I cope with humor in this situation?
Nothing I would like to talk about, so humor is welcome.
Right.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Bless.
Apologies.
Uh, you know those face pods that get you congested.
Yeah.
The other one's a
absolutely.
dance, like a fucking jump scare.
Stop.
Uh, yeah. So, uh, Tinker, I'm guessing you're gonna hang back here.
I mean, if you want us to come for the walk, I'll come for the walk. I'm gonna be honest. Um, I have basically met no one here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're. I mean, isn't H here? I don't know that they're friends. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
assume there's meaningful looks.
H the hologram is still here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk to H. I'm kind of, one day, they were just, helping me out, answering some questions, and next time they explained to me, this, and they have that role. So, it's a bit of a jump, but
Right. Yeah.
I'll do that at some point. Probably now, actually, I guess.
Right. If I find any, I guess like, well, I don't. You know what? What's like? This is a
What?
pointless line of question.
No, go ahead. I want to
No,
hear
I
it.
didn't. If I find a cool rock, which I won't because it's a fucking space station.
What are you gonna do with a cool rock?
I don't know. Shit. I was trying to be considerate. I would toss it into an alternate dimension where I presume that a semi-paladin aligned woman would leap into the air, snatch the air with her mouth, and eat it. Maybe she's got kind of a dog motif going on.
Do you
I
need
don't
to
know.
go back into the pod?
I definitely do not.
Did they?
Do not put me back in the sauce.
I don't want you to go back, but
I'm on so much cold medicine right now. We were playing Overwatch, and I was just like, I'm gonna go for my walk. Prophet, do you want to go find the pod of your girlfriend?
I mean, we could just wait until she's like back, because she's in the loop or something, doing some agent business,
Right.
I'd presume.
They had mentioned, no, like H had mentioned that in between restarting loops, they take like a couple days to review things with the agents. And this was the end of the loop, so you might be able to assume that certain people who are agents could be around here somewhere.
Oh. Yeah, I guess
Shit.
I'll come on the walk and keep an eye out. For earlier.
Slay. You okay, Savior?
Yeah, I dropped my ring, and it went clang, 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 clang. Okay, though.
I'm so glad it's okay.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Hell yeah. Alright. And had Lacuna said that they were also going on a walk?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I'm in.
Slay. Sorry, I'm trying to find something. But there we go. I was right. Okay, slay. But those of you who are heading out of the room, begin to walk out, head down the halls. Are you looking for anything in particular, or all of you just strolling?
It's
like a
kind of like
stroll.
it's a strolling. I'm just like, it's a passive exploration.
Yeah, sure.
I've never seen a space station.
Real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benny, go ahead and roll me real quick. Let's say fucking engineering.
Okay. 10.
10. Don't you have good engineering?
I do, but I rolled a 4.
It'd be like that. It's kind of fitting in a way because there's something not about this space, this like place specifically, but hey, H had kind of referenced that you might find that there's skills or abilities you have that you don't remember getting. And as you're walking along, you start to see certain aspects. Like when you pass by a window, you see a ship in the distance, maybe coming to dock with the station. And your brain supplies a number. I apologize.
Yeah, we'll see.
But your brain supplies a series of numbers and letters, and at first you're confused, and then you realize, how did I know the model number of that ship?
It's a big fucking nerd.
How did I know that ship is like a cargo ship? How do I know that one is designed for faster speeds? Like, and as you think about it, you're able to recognize like what parts of the ship, tell you what it's good at, but you don't know where that like base information might have come from.
Huh.
And you feel like there's like a memory on like the tip of your finger, that you can't fully recall it. It seems almost like it's buried in a pile, but no matter how deep you dig in this pile, sand just keeps filling in, and you can't actually make a hole to get to this memory.
And I was gonna say, who needs therapy to remember shit? I do, apparently.
That's how it works.
Okay. Weird, but work.
Memory recovery therapy isn't, at least in this situation, it's not, let's sit down and chat about things. It's like
Let's expose you to the horrors.
It sounds horrific.
no, it's like, it's more like physical therapy,
Right.
in that you have to do certain things. But
Okay.
you're able to like notice certain things about the station as you walk through it.
Okay.
Like aspects of its construction and things like that, but nothing insanely pertinent to write in this moment.
Cool.
Yeah. You guys, are you discussing anything or just silently walking?
I don't really know what to discuss as of right now.
There is the lamp question.
There is the lamp question. I'm not gonna press it.
Lacuna.
I can't believe this.
Lacuna. Roll the will. I'm kidding.
No, please. I should have invested in that. I didn't know you were gonna make me do that.
I'm
The
kidding.
lamp saves.
Just start posting lamps in the group chat.
Then as you guys are kind of like silently contemplating as you walk together, you reach what seems to be a branching in this hallway. There's a small sign that says temporary lodging. And according to the maps you guys have on your devices, seems to be where rooms are for people who don't have a place to stay yet and have been newly woken up. So you guys could always go check those out. Another one of the branches says common area. Not really sure what that could be, though, you can make some assumptions. And then there's another one that says medical department. Where would you guys like to go?
Medical sounds kind of interesting.
What sounds interesting?
Medical?
Typical.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking.
Sure,
get
man.
her.
I'm stretching my legs.
Yeah. I'm walking.
Hell yeah.
Take us to medical.
Alright.
Oh
So-
God.
Turning and heading down towards medical. It opens up. Well, first it goes down a staircase. You are on a lower deck now, but it opens up into a larger area. there's more people here, and it gives you all like an immediate pause and like freeze in the doorway. Both because a number of people, there's more people than just the couple that you mainly recognized before, but also because a number of them are, hey, kinds of people you've never seen before, and I don't mean in a color of skin sense. I mean in the sense of one of them looks just like a giant slime guy. Several of them look insectoid. Like, there are so many bugs.
You fool. There's all bugs.
There's one
Oops,
that
all
looks
bugs.
just like a floating jellyfish. It is a strange collection, though most of these people don't seem to think it's all that odd as they mill about. A couple of them are sitting in chairs. There seems to be a small group that are being interviewed by a half orc in like a medical outfit and being asked like, and how were you adjusting to the change in gravity? And like, just this seems to be like a general like I can't think of the word I want, like a basic medical handling area, though you guys are quickly approached by what seems to be maybe a secretary or nurse of some kind. He is... Where is it? He had... Let me take a screenshot of this. Slay. He has kind of like dark gray skin. Okay, copy. Dark gray skin, a kind of like long nose and like white eyes. And noticeably, 4 legs.
Huh.
But
he was fast as fuck.
Yeah, gallop for real. I want to talk about 3rd leg. Get good. Is this?
Oh my.
Is this your search history?
This is my search history.
Okay, work. Boston Bean?
The bean.
The Bean isn't in Boston.
Oh, dude, fucking, I don't remember.
Fair.
Where is
fair
it?
Big
enough.
silver, the big
Chicago.
silver one. I saw younggravy1.png. Oh, he's in there a lot actually.
Yeah.
Also, transparent ice cream, which I'm so curious about. And then online photo editor.
Yeah.
That was for Young Gravy.
Yeah.
And the ice cream, apparently.
Bean. Bean.
But, this person in a medical outfit approaches and says, "Hello, what can I do for you all today?"
Prophet, this is on you.
Yeah, we
Oh.
both look at Prophet.
So, we just arrived and we're having a look around. I mean, I take a personal interest in this kind of thing, but honestly, just on a stroll.
Oh, of course. If you have interest in the medical field, and perhaps even a history, and you are wishing to inquire about facilities or anything of the sort, I believe our department head is free right now. Or I can just grab one of our regular doctors and you can ask any questions you might have.
I mean, I guess we were just interested what it is you do here.
Well, we are specifically the medical department for the Reset Initiative. The larger hospital is in another area of the station. We here mainly serve either agents or those who are freshly pulled out of their stasis or are having issues that might be connected with the stasis. Right now, we have a new collection of folks, and he gestures towards some of the people here. Periodically, we will try and wake some people up from the stasis so that we can check on them. Mainly those who have mutated, as with the body changes, it can be difficult to gauge that we're properly taking care of them. So we try to wake them up and make sure they're being properly cared for, see how well adjusted they could be to living a normal life. Because while, yes, the Reset Initiative, of course, wishes to put things back to how they once were, we also have to be ready for the possibility that that cannot be done. And people have to be ready to adapt to live in our new world.
Sounds like you got a lot of work ahead of you. That's very interesting.
Yes, we're very passionate about it here, but we're doing our best.
E-
E. Ba-ba. As Prophet is kind of like having this conversation with this nurse, there seems to be kind of like a small group of people who enter the medical department from another door, not the hallway you guys came. They mostly seem to be maybe like doctors of some kind. Most of them are wearing like kind of stereotypical like lab coats, that kind of thing. One of them in particular has kind of like shaggy brown hair, looks to be human or half elf, unclear, and has on dark shades over his eyes. And he seems to be talking to this group who are following him and listening to very closely to whatever it is he's saying. But they walk through, all very closely following this doctor, pass by you guys, and seem to head deeper into the medical department. Slay.
I guess you should try and get in on that profit.
You don't. Not everything I say you guys have to like interact with. I'm just throwing things out there. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you guys finish that conversation. Is there anything else you guys would like to do here, or head back the way you came?
Head back the way
Yeah.
we came.
Continue our stroll.
Yes.
Slay. As you guys are continuing your stroll, backtracking initially. First, I'm gonna go to the Tinker.
Then he was just like, "You want to stay here?" And I'm like, "Shit, all right." So I'm just
Well, no,
like,
if you can come with us.
no, I
You don't know
know.
any of these people.
No, I know H. So I'll talk to
Okay.
H. And then I was gonna look for someone specific.
Mhm.
It was just really funny that you just suggested it. Tinker's just like, "Shit, all right."
More so because of the Roman.
No, I know you're good. Yeah, when around the same time they get up, I will try and speak to H. I don't know if they're like, big guy on campus, but I will go speak with him.
The hologram had almost seemed to fall into like an idle state, but as you approach it, it moves once more and like turns its featureless face towards you. Hello, the Tinker. Can I do anything for you?
Yeah, well, not specifically. I was just a little curious how you ended up, doing this, I guess.
Ah, you mean my current position here on the three hole?
Yes.
Well, I'm currently speaking while and acting in this capacity, only because one of the chiefs is absent on a mission right now, so I am taking over his role temporarily. Normally I wouldn't be the one giving this kind of talk or receiving you all. Normally I handle other matters. But I'm happy to help where assistance is needed.
I see. So I'm still kind of figuring out what's, what was influenced by knowledge brought in from outside the loop, you know. So you you were still made were you made specifically for the lab by Eminence, or was it here and you were brought in?
I was made for other purposes prior to the loop.
Uh,
The I suppose the simplest way to explain it is that when the initiative was founded and everything was put into motion, Eminence was free of the loop and wanted my assistance. But because of the nature of what I am, it was not so simple as to wake me up. So what I am right now is essentially a copy of the H you knew. I have access to that H, and I can see conversations that took place, information, that sort of thing. So I'm still H, though I suppose you could say I am an updated version. A
so
bug was removed, so I believe I am the improved version.
a bug was removed? The anomaly in your system, or
No, that anomaly was myself inputting
Okay.
a note to make sure that you would safely get to where you needed to be.
right?
My
You mean? Sorry, go ahead.
my previous form that Eminence created had an internal bug, but that internal bug was not something that could be copied to when she created a copy to bring outside of the loop. So I'm finally free of that bug and can, I believe, act in a more sensible manner.
I see. So, if you were the one that sent that message, I'm afraid I didn't have a lot of time or a lot of memory of what that meant for me because, again, the world ended and from there it's kind of hazy. Could you tell me what that meant?
All of it, or is there a specific aspect of it?
Well, just the message you sent. You said it was to get me to where I needed to be, but I don't have recollection of when that came into play.
Yes. So, to quote the direct message that I placed within myself to communicate to you, I said, tell the Tinker that when they see the blue moon, follow, but use your judgment and do not be swayed by the opinions of others outside of your woven web. I was concerned because of behavior from past loops that you. Hello, Chloe. Yeah. That you would not go along with all of this. Thankfully, it seems that this transition went smoother than some have in the past. But, again, thankfully it went very smoothly. You met with the Blue Moon, followed what she said, and I believe you are at the point now where you can use your judgment, and I believe it would be best for you to not be swayed by the opinions of others beyond your own and those of your companions who you are tied to.
I see. So without that message, I wouldn't have been here, potentially.
No, this is the first time we attempted to pull you all out.
Ah, right, makes sense. There's been attempts to pull people out that have failed.
Yes,
Is that a common occurrence?
it depends. Sometimes there can be complications. The reason a copy had to be made of me, after all, was because there was a complication when trying to pull me out, and thus Eminence determined it would be better to make a copy.
Ah. So some of the people in there just physically, you haven't been able to remove them yet at all.
Correct.
Even if they're here, they're still unconscious.
Yes, that is the sad reality of it. Not everyone is able to handle the strain of being removed from the loop. That's why we must continue to work on it. It cannot be as simple as pulling everyone from the loop and setting them up with new lives. We must find a fuller solution than that.
I understand. I think this is a lot, but I will think on it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Go for
Tinker.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
apologies.
No, you're good.
I view you favorably. I think you are an interesting person. I know that the other H, the bugged H, was very fond of you. Sadly, I must stay devoted to my duties. But I appreciate your support nonetheless. Sadly, there's not much I can benefit from. Maybe you could have helped the bugged H, but I am improved beyond that, so while I appreciate your attempts in the past to misguidedly, quote-unquote, free me, I am quite content.
I understand. It is interesting, to say the least. This is something. I don't know how else to put it.
The Tinker, could you go ahead and roll me either,
God.
where is it? Either computers or sense motive. It's up to you.
Okay, so I think I have like the worst sense motive physically possible right now.
The two would get you different information, so it's up to you what you think is more pertinent to what you would like to know.
I understand. As soon as my character sheet lets me actually access it, because it's there, it's just not letting me click. There we go. Computers or sense motive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is my... I'm more curious about sense motive. That's a 21.
All right.
I have a +6. I don't know where I got that from.
A 21 with sense motive? Hell yeah. There's something about the way that H keeps referring to the other version as bugged out and themselves improved. and something about how they said that an attempt had been made to initially awaken them from the loop like others, but then it was determined that that would not work, and instead a copy had to be made. And there's something unspoken there. And it occurs to you, why would a copy have to be made if H was only a computer program? H is referring to a bug, an aspect of himself that was removed when the copy was made. Something that is not a computer.
Oh, fuck. I don't really want to ask this age about that. I'm gonna be real. I really don't want to do that. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Thank you. May I ask those screens that allowed us to look at the registry census data, are those still available to us?
Why, yes. I
Oh,
shall
perfect.
pull one up for you. And with a wave of H's hologram hand, one of the screens appears in front of the seat closest to where you're standing.
I see. Thank you.
Of course.
I will go to my screen. I want to find two names here.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I want to know if H has two entries.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think sorting by the letter H is not going to go well. In, like a search engine type thing. I'm a little scared,
Yeah.
but I guess I have to.
Predictably, just searching the letter H brings up thousands and thousands of people whose names start with H, contain an H, all those kinds of things.
H, parentheses, AI. I don't know how the search engine works.
Go ahead and roll computers.
This I can do. I am not a ninja. That's a 3. That's an 11.
So with an 11, you're having a difficult time, but upon searching AI and then H in parentheses, it searches for an AI with only the letter H and nothing after it. And a file does come up. Upon opening it, a fair amount of it is heavily redacted. And there's even a note that says, like, property of Sharpiva. As in the information is property of Sharpiva, not H themselves. It notes that the current version is, quote, V6, and that it is outside of the loop and has never been present inside of the loop. There is a note that all other versions of H have always been inside of the loop. And then there's a note where it says HV1. It lists the different versions and lists years for when those versions were active before they were updated to the next version. Seemingly maybe when H was in development. And it says HV1 was, give or take, 20 years ago from the time you recall it being quote-unquote modern day. And there's a note on it that says, for more information, see profile redacted.
You can't keep doing this.
Guys can try to hack if you want. That's up to you.
Can I click on the word on the redacted?
Yes.
Did H make it so that it is facing them when I do this?
It is flat on the tabletop.
I will click on it.
Nothing comes up.
Is there not a password?
Well, yeah, there it does prompt for a password, but
What is the hacking skill? What is it?
I'm pretty sure it is computers. Yes. But you would need to access the system's user interface, which this kind of is, but this is a specific program. So you can try, but I would say the DC would be high.
Right. Well, um, that's a 28 natural 20.
Jeez.
Hang on, yeah, got him.
Jesus. How do you think you're going about this? Like,
How? I think I am. I mean, it's basically just a UI with a password pop-up, right?
mhm.
I think it's kind of hard, but I think given I do have my own technological aspect, I will just try to physically connect myself to this device and just drain information from like the inspect element type shit, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Like things that aren't displayed.
Yeah. Um sure, you find a port to insert into.
I love
That
inserting
sounds
myself into random ports. It's my favorite hobby.
No. And thankfully it seems H is distracted, maybe with a question from one of the others. But hacking in, you are able to select one. At this moment, you would need a more prolonged period of time to see everything, since you essentially would have to do a hack on each part of the redacted information. So, what specific information on H's profile would you like to see?
So, what are the redacted parts in total? Because I only get the one.
They seem to be about the creation process, so maybe the sciences behind it. They seem to refer to H's duties to Sharpiva, about what happened to H when everything was destroyed, and then the last bit is when it says for more information refer to profile redacted.
Yeah. Give me that one. Give me that last one. I
Right.
want that one.
Would you like to see what's there, or would you like to go through and look at whatever that profile is?
You mean just see the name or actually see the profile?
Yes.
I mean it's free information. Why would I not?
Yeah, sure. So you go through to the profile, and before I say the name, I will say this person is marked as dead.
So that's a problem.
This person is marked as having died over 20 years ago. And thus not in the loop or anything like that. Heavily redacted. And to be clear, you seeing the marked dead as 20 years ago is only accessible because of your hacking.
So them being dead is also redacted?
No, their status as dead was uncovered. Their name was uncovered. What you got for some reason with this hack was that they died over 20 years ago. The name is Harley Sharp.
Harley Sharp? Ooh.
Ned.
Well, we need to have a conversation. So do I get this this was a really good check to crit, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
Can I just put can I just put this on my little like brain flash drive? You know, I just wanna.
Just like download it.
I just wanna like my brain is still like a brain, but like it's kind of intertwined. I'm just gonna download this information real quick, and by that I mean just remember it.
Sure. So you can actually download it if you want. That would require, I would say, a sleight of hand check.
Oh my, can I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I mean like, can I physically do that? +8, 17.
Yeah, before H returns their attention to you, you're able to download the same information super quick, close out of this profile, close out of H's profile, and pull away from the table.
Okay. And while H is pulling up, I'm just gonna look up Olga, which was or Ortha, which was the name you gave me earlier, and just make it look like that. And yeah, is that 20 years to this current date? 20 years from when I was there, right?
So, you guys are currently say the year that you guys were in college, doing all these things, doing the previous campaign was say year 50 for whatever reason. It is now currently in game now 53. While this quote unquote 20 years ago would have been year 30. If that makes sense.
Right.
If you glanced at, hold on, let me find where. Why can I never find things when I want them? That's the question here. If you had glanced at Harley's age, like the date he was born, he would have been 24 years old in your time. So technically 27 now, but 24.
Right.
So presumably died when he was 4.
Died when he was 4?
Mm-hmm.
This, congrats, you've been AI recreated. This is some naff shit. God fucking damn it. Okay. Was there anything else on the page that I got before I had to, mash the close tab button?
There's no listed death cause.
No listed cause of death. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, if that's all I can get, I will just close tabs and open up that Ortha page, which I am curious about, but mostly just to find like where I could find them, if possible.
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Looking up the name Ortha, there's a couple names that come up. None of them seem like quote unquote correct. It just seems like other people who had that name. And at the end of the search, it says, "Did you mean Ortha dash staff registry?"
Okay, well that was just me. But yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah, sure. If you click on that, it brings you instead to the staff registry rather than the survivor registry. And it lists Ortha as a representative from, where is it? It says a representative from planet Avalon. And I will type that.
Avalon. Oh, Avalon.
Yes. And then it doesn't have many details on this Ortha, like literally next to none. Other than that, they are staff to some degree, and specifically a representative of this planet. And then it says that they report to apparently where's the name? Why can I not find things when I want them? we're gonna do a quick Control F. Oh. Control F. There we go. Yes. All right. Apparently, Ortha specifically reports to something called the Machine Court.
Gotcha. To the machine core. Great. I will take that.
Yeah.
I will put it down. I will thank H, and I will walk fastly in the direction that I saw everyone go.
Yeah. Sure.
I am leaving.
Roll me as you're leaving. Uh. As you are speed walking away, go ahead and roll me a quick. Is there not an investigation skill? What the fuck?
Athletic computers disguise.
Yeah, I guess perception. Roll me a quick perception to see if you can figure out which of the 3 hallways the others might have gone down.
So that's a natural 1. So that's a 10.
Yeah, my man, you're just wandering.
I'm just gonna text the group chat.
Sure. As you text the group chat to figure out where to meet up with them, to swap over to the others real quick. Benny, as you are all walking back to the branch to figure out maybe what direction to go, there is a tug to the back of the jacket you're wearing.
Damn, they gave me a jacket? That's cool as fuck.
You guys were given clothes, remember, last game?
Oh, right, yeah.
It's
I
like
guess.
a very nondescript jacket. It's
Okay.
Gap. I'm kidding.
It just says, like, Gap on the back.
But it was...
This is sharp.
It was...
Sharpita.
It was Mary that tugged on the back of your coat to get your attention.
Okay. I'll let the others, like, walk ahead and I'll pause. Yeah, what's, you okay?
I guess I just wanted to catch up with you real quick about, if you were alright, if... how are you feeling? How are you doing? Sorry.
It's fine. To be honest, mostly trying to, sort of, dissociate, or try to push it out of my head that, you know, a couple of... You know, at the end of the world, I honestly didn't expect this many people to make it like they did. But I'm still a little torn up about Joy and old Frank. My roommate, I guess, it kind of feels a little mundane at this point, but I think you met them briefly at one point.
Yeah, I remember. I think they ordered us breakfast one time when I was over.
Yeah, they did that a lot actually. They're always making sure I was fed. A lot of folks, those two, especially though, old Frank and Joy are always kind of taking care of me.
Yeah.
And then fucking
Is the rest of your family okay?
yeah, well, supposedly like my mom and my dad and my brother, my aunt, they're all gathered up. You know, it really kind of takes till the end of the world to sort of fully realize how many people you actually give a shit about. Like even seeing Casey sitting there in that there room. I mean, yeah, there's people I would have preferred to see besides her, but I'm glad she's alive, I guess.
Yeah.
somewhat of a relief.
Glad that you're alive and alright.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I'm also glad that I'm alive. Not gonna lie there. It was kind of touch and go. I guess. Maybe. Uh. Yeah. You know.
You said touch and go. Was something happening to you guys, or?
I mean, we were being blackmailed and framed for shit. Not framed, but blackmailed, and my dad was on death row, and we just crashed a van, kinda, and I thought I was gonna get arrested, but it turns out the world just ended, so I didn't have to worry about getting arrested.
Shit.
Breaking my parole. Because there were a lot bigger things to worry about. Like, like my roommate being dead, and now Lacuna's a moth, and fucking... And we're in a goddamn space station that's kind of, sort of, I guess, in part owned by my dead friend. Friend's mom.
Right. It it said that he was dead.
Yeah, I don't think the two of you ever met, but, Harley, it was, I think, Lacuna's cousin, and, I guess, Sharps, the lady, her, son?
Right. You. I guess that's a question for Benny, because I know that that's a conversation you and Mary have had before about
Right.
your about what you guys are okay with. So has Benny ever mentioned Harley in that manner, or no?
Probably.
All right. And Mary kind of shifts a bit. You two were like involved, right?
I mean, a bit, yeah.
Do you remember anything?
About what exactly?
I mean, maybe in some of the other loops things went differently.
Do I?
I don't know. You go ahead and roll me, let's say, mysticism.
Mysticism? I got fucking ass on that. Actually, that's okay. 17.
17. You're not really sure what Mary might specifically be referring to, and you don't even know if Mary is sure what he was specifically referring to. Because there's a lot of potential different memories from other loops, but
Yeah.
thinking hard about it, it's like, you know, when you look at a mirror and angle it with another mirror and you just see layer upon layer upon layer.
Yes.
Trying to look at your memories of other loops in this moment is like trying to determine the one different thing about a reflection way, way, way back in the line. And you look, and you think you see Hartley. You think you see him smile. You think you remember sitting together under the stars talking about things.
That's
And
okay.
in the furthest iteration back, remember Harley bleeding out in your arms. and you remember Mary being there. But the memory isn't distinct. But you know that they were both there.
Ah. Hmm. Interesting. Benny doesn't know
Yeah.
that. Have the information that Tinku just found it, right? Okay.
Benny,
Yeah. Yep. Ha.
what with... I guess the world being gone, I don't know. You know, like, say with my adopted family, you know, that stuff. I don't know how important that is anymore, you know?
Sure. I mean, maybe. I feel like a lot of things aren't as important as we made them out to be. Or as I guess they were.
And I'd rather you hear things from me rather than second hand. And I think at this time is like when the rest of you who had kept walking on, you know, bump into the Tinker again, begin to, you know, be like, oh, how'd it go for you? Well, how'd it go for you? But Benny, in this moment, as you're talking with Mary, something in Mary's face like falls and kind of stiffens up, and you hear heels in the hall from the way you two came, from the medical wing, as a red-skinned tiefling woman.
No, she's not a moth.
She is not a moth. However, she has 2 cybernetic arms and the floating arcane assistance with her. And she kind of tilts her head and says, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. And we'll cut from you, Benny.
What is going on?
The rest of you. What are you talking about as you meet up again?
Am I about to have my fucking neck snapped?
That's a really good question. Considering got sucker punched a couple times there. I'm just chilling, man. Like, as best as it gets. Kind of pissed off, you know how it is.
Yeah, Lacuna, your mental health seems to be doing quite well despite everything. Do you mind if I make it a bit worse? Potentially.
How much worse are you? I feel like I've had a lot today. From the
Yeah.
standpoint of my parents knew all this was going to happen evidently, and just left. And they left my brother behind, and he died, and they were going to leave me behind to die, but I didn't. And now they're just doing who knows what.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I was gonna
and
say.
my cousin died, and yeah, the moth part isn't a big deal. I don't know why people think that's a big deal, but like, that's whatever at this point. Like, you know, I got wings. I think that's a win. I'll take what I can get as far as that. But okay, go for it, I guess.
Probably not here. Are you sure?
Well, now I'm worried. If you want to go somewhere else,
Okay.
yeah, we can do that.
Well, it's just, I've come across information I shouldn't have. We'll put it that way.
Hmm. Well, you got ahead of me on that one.
Yeah, those redacteds were bugging me, so I just decided to stop seeing them.
Huh?
Yeah. Are rooms somewhere around here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Prophet's here too, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
chilling.
will drag him along.
Yeah, you should come along.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you're I don't know. I've been trying not to ask too many questions about everything going on, back, back when things were, not in space. But unfortunately I stumble across the answers anyway. So, yeah, let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And whenever we get there, I will just take out the flash drive and I'm just gonna hand it to Lacuna.
Yeah, you guys find like a
Alright.
very nondescript, like, clinical medical room. There is a small screen, a bed, a bathroom, and that's pretty much it.
Alright. Well, even if it's only a screen, does it have like, I guess, a USB port on it that I could plug a flash drive into, conceivably?
Fuck it, sure. We ball.
I mean, if it's like just like a monitor, it probably would, because those usually will have those attached.
Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't matter if I can't if there's no like way to control it, because I have a cantrip that lets me make my own UI for things.
Go off.
So I guess I'll do that if there's no other way to like look at whatever.
Sure.
I mean, I could tell you, but I don't know how to explain it. So,
Concerning,
Yeah.
but fair enough.
Hey Tinker, is there any other information on the thumb drive as well? I'm just curious.
let me, I'll roll, I'll roll something. What terrible things did I forget to remove?
Maybe like process tracking pictures of, I don't know, maybe removing your own organs. I think that'd be fun. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
there's-
I'm
No,
kidding.
I mean, there definitely would be leftover remnants of, like, what I was doing. The problem is I don't have the full files because I simply lost them. So that's probably in there, realistically. You can do with that what you want. But you don't have to click on them.
But look, you see a collection of different files. One of which is being marked. It says survivor profile.
Really bold of you to just do. You did duplicate this, right? You didn't just like take the file
That's
from wherever.
duplicated. I didn't steal the
Okay,
file.
that's
That's not
good.
what I meant to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
that
not what I
probably
did,
would
right?
get you.
No, it's not what you did.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say that would probably get you in more trouble than you having this in the first place.
Yep, probably.
Um,
They brought me here.
alright.
They should. If they did not expect this from me after countless time loops, that is their own fault.
Oh, believe me, as soon as I get my hands on something here, I'm gonna try my best to look through some of that too. Okay. I guess open the file.
Yeah. So opening it up, you see pretty much exactly what the Tankar saw. Since you only took Harley's file, you see, Harley Sharp tagged as dead 20 years ago. Technically 23. And that's pretty much it.
That's here.
You see why I didn't know how to present this information?
Yeah.
And Prophet, you see this too. Harley was in your class.
Yeah, like we all saw him and shit.
Yeah, you've literally hung out with Harley.
We
Harley
had
was
coffee with this man.
Yeah, you were told that Harley was part of your quote unquote woven web, that whole connection thing.
But
Yeah, I
he's
guess
been
he's
dead
kind of
for-
dumbfounded.
Since he was 4.
Yeah. But he was pretty clearly not 4 when we met him. So
Well, I guess the question is, was that it? Wait a minute. What does H stand for?
You don't know, you've always just been told H.
That's not me asking you.
Yeah. As you guys are having this discussion, Benny,
Fear.
you've just met Eminence Sharp for the first time. You recognize her. You had
Right.
seen her in news before.
So sorry for your loss.
Yeah. She is a tiefling. I'm so sorry. She is not a moth.
Disappointed.
But she says, well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Kind of looks between the two of you for a moment. And then says, I was so hoping to speak with you. I suppose the secret is a little bit out. I've seen the loops. I know you've told before. I'm not mad. I know emotions run high when you're young. And of course none of that matters anymore, considering the world is gone. But, it's so nice to probably meet you, Benny. I'm so glad to finally meet my son's boyfriend. She puts a hand on Mary's shoulder, who looks extremely uncomfortable.
Uh,
Mary, who is a changeling.
yeah, that's kind of, hey, that's kind of fucked up. Hey, that's kind of fucked up.
We'll leave you there. We'll just leave you with that.
No, what?
So back to the conversation in your rooms. You're wondering what H stands for.
I don't know. I don't think I ever, out of character, never met H, or H was never mentioned in any way or form to me.
Yeah, before today, you had never met H.
As far as I know, that is some random AI that is that's like a part of the ship or whatever. So, you know.
I think Juice died. Juice did die. I see that mute.
My boy.
On F.
All right, let's begin compressions.
Well, Harley was meant to be like the heir to
Welcome back.
Sharpevia, right?
Yeah. Well, I think there was something with that before.
Hold on.
Where...
I want to see what Juice missed.
I did not catch the beginning of this conversation.
Okay, so where did we lose you?
During Benny's talk with Eminence, my dad started calling me, and I ignored it, and then he called me again. I was like, all right, you bitch.
All right. Well, Eminence had said that it was good to finally meet Benny, that she knew Mary had apparently told some kind of secret in previous loops, but it's okay, because the world is over and none of that matters anymore. The secrets don't matter. And then had put her hand on Mary the Changeling's shoulder and had said it was so good to meet her son's boyfriend, referring to Benny.
Man.
While her hand was on Mary. But now you guys are resuming your conversation in the room about H.
Great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, y'all can finish what you were saying. I'll catch up. Listen, you finish what you were in the middle of saying. I believe you.
You've compressed your boyfriends. It's all the same guy.
They're all the
Little
same
did you
person.
know.
Layered.
Everyone, we are all H.
Boyfriends in a
What's the
trench
secret?
coat.
Oops, all H.
Everyone is H. I'm H. The Tigger is H.
I
Prophet
just
is H. Little did
decided
you
I was
know.
going to go for these two fucking twinks.
It was the same guy all along.
Man.
It's
Man.
really, really funny, actually.
You said this was planned from the start. Did you expect us to find it today?
Speedrun.
No, but
Got it.
I always had this prep to some degree because I knew it could come out at most any time.
Got him. Literally the first opportunity. Okay. So what do I guess I'll catch you all up on to speed with what H mentioned. This H. This H says that they are version 6, with version 5 I believe being the one that I knew before, you know. Yeah. And V6 kept mentioning that there was a bug in V5 that I have to assume is a non-AI human component. And supposedly they weren't able to extract V5, which is why V6 exists.
Why were there 5 versions in the first place?
That is not something I managed to get. I hacked this this file directly next to H. So I couldn't get everything. But version 1 was, I guess, 23 years ago now. 20 from when we were, you know, pre-apocalypse. And there's been updates, but version 5 still had a human component, and that's gone in number 6.
Well,
Yeah. I don't really know what we do with this information.
yeah, like, what's the... If... But if he died before the loop, then why was he there? Because, like, isn't the loop, like, full?
I don't know.
Man,
But-
who can say? We'll get in there later.
We'll figure it
We'll
out.
we'll put a pin in it. We'll get in there later. We'll come back.
Yeah,
I know a
that's-
guy.
That's just a
He can
little.
help us
That's
get in.
that's just a little nugget of information that we'll just keep in the back of our minds, you know.
Yeah,
Just-
we'll just
just
keep that. We'll just keep that for later. I
Keep
can
that nice and
definitely-
wrapped up tight.
Yeah, I can definitely get in there.
Yeah, we can compartmentalize it for now.
Yeah, enough terrible things have happened today. You know,
Yeah.
I guess it's less of a it still kind of is a blow, I guess, that my cousin died, but also like he died 20 years ago. But also like today it seems. So, you know, it's I'll keep feeling bad about it for a little bit.
But as you guys are discussing that, Benny, I know you have to go shortly. So what does Benny leave us with? As a reaction?
I don't have to go, like, immediately.
I thought you said you had to go too.
Like 2:15-ish.
Okay. Then go ahead, pop off.
Ah! Your son.
Yes. My son.
Adoptive son.
Yes. Harley,
You got.
if you could. And Mary, like, winces, and, like, the slowest change you have ever seen him do slowly changes to look like the Harley you know. Minus glasses.
Right, those are an external addition. They just have the fucking glass punched out. Uh, I uh, it's a bit weird.
Well, when I adopted Harley, we didn't want people to find out about
Mary.
the
Oh,
name we used together was Harley, as we didn't want people to connect my son to a changeling with criminal connections, and I didn't want to cut my son off from his connection to the rest of his family. So, thus, two identities were made.
right. Uh, so, like, what the yeah, sure, fuck, why not? Uh, your file thing said you were dead. Or that Harley, or that.
Yes. That is a profile taken from my records. It can be easier to assume an identity rather than create a new one.
You gotta excuse me, ma'am. I'm not too quick on the pickup. I don't really know what you mean by that.
Well, there was a recently deceased, and rather than creating a new identity from scratch for my son here, it's easier to assume an identity that already exists, a legal identity, to be clear. As again, we didn't want anyone to track the connection between the two, whether that be the government or police or news reporters.
Is that also why I wasn't. You know what, actually, I don't want to relate this back to me, because, like, hardly I don't matter evidently in this equation, because you're all money and floating little things around your head, which is just shit that's far beyond my comprehension, and most of shit that I guess you get up to is far beyond my comprehension, so I'm not even gonna try and associate too much with whatever the fuck's going on here. Uh,
Mary is looking down and not looking at you, while Eminence is like raising an eyebrow at you slowly. Well, I cannot speak exactly to my past self, as I'm quite a different person since, frankly, the apocalypse, but at the time there was a variety of reasons why they needed to be perfectly kept separate. But the time for that is long over. And besides, in many of the loops, Arlie here chose to tell you himself. You can, like, see the hand squeeze on Mary's shoulder.
Right. Hey, Ned, I don't like your aunt. She seems kind of evil.
People can be complicated.
Yeah, I don't think that there's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I give it to her. You can be complicated, but also, I don't think there's much moral ambiguity to like adopting a child to pose as your dead child, and then like forcing a kind of identity on them.
I think that's girl boss behavior.
I think that's child abuse. Okay.
It's really hard to tell it apart sometimes. You know?
What is the difference between girl bossing?
Sometimes
Truly.
it's girl boss. Sometimes it's just active child abuse. The line is very thin.
In line. Transparent. Right, yeah, I mean, that's all great and stuff. Lovely to meet you, ma'am. You seem like a really busy woman. Thanks for filling me in.
We'll have to have dinner sometime.
I,
Arlie, if you would, I would love to have a conversation.
uh,
She starts to turn and kind of like gives Mary a short tug before letting go of him. And he does not say anything and just looks at you for a moment.
no, come here, bitch!
What are you
I'll
doing?
take a war with your body. I don't give a fuck, bro.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna grab him by the fucking wrist.
Manny, I'll find you later. I just have to talk to my mom for a little bit.
Uh, uh, she can wait her fucking turn. Is that anything?
He kind of glances back towards Eminence, who has taken a couple steps and then stopped, and is watching you two with like a kind of difficult to read expression. And Mary lowers his voice. I'm sorry, Benny. You know I couldn't tell you, but I wanted to.
That's really not what I'm implying right now. You just seem kind of uncomfortable with the whole situation, and she kind of seems like a bit of a holier than thou asshole, and I'm not really into that kind of thing.
She's not awful. It's just not how I would have liked to handle this.
I mean, you know, if you told me in some other cycle, I guess I probably would have figured it out eventually. Your mom, I guess, kind of did dunk me in the deep end, and also you in the deep end. Which, on her behalf, kind of an asshole move,
Yeah.
is what he shouts over Mary's shoulder.
She does not say anything. She's just watching.
Yeah, I bet she wouldn't.
D-
Come here, girl.
You're gonna fight a disabled woman? Oh my god.
Yes, I'm ableist.
I'm sorry you found out like this.
It's
It's
you can process this sort of unfortunate coming out anti-coming reveal.
um
The nature of it, I mean, not the actual like content of it. I want to clarify. Uh, but don't worry about me, I guess, because you only woke up a few hours before me, and uh, I got a lot of catching up to do in my own head.
right.
I'm not mad or anything. I'm just like I told your mom. I guess I'm just a little slow on the pickup.
Right. You
Ye-
hear oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I refuse.
You hear like a throat clear behind you from Eminence, and Mary's gaze flicks to her and then back to you. I really should
I'll
go,
look at her.
but
I'll look her in the eye. I'll look her in the eye.
she's just watching Mary.
I'm having a heartfelt moment here. Could you give me like a minute?
Sadly, in the act of saving the world, there's some things I need to hurry along. I'm sure you understand.
I don't actually.
Mary kind of like tugs on you again. It's fine, Benny. I just we can talk more about this later, but I guess this is kind of, well, not just kind of, it's pretty much my fault. I should have said no to you or stayed away as one, but
How many
I-
times do I have to?
I-
You know
I
what? You're
guess
not gonna
I'm-
get it in your head during this conversation, so I'll reiterate it to you when you're in like a better place mentally. But I don't give a shit. Okay?
Listen.
I grab him by the sides of the face. Look at me. Do you prefer Mary or Harley? Because I don't have a preference. I like both of them.
Mary.
Right. I like that one too. And I'll let go of his face.
Alright,
Find me later.
I will. I know you're saying not to apologize, but I guess I just need to say I'm sorry for being selfish, and I guess I just couldn't stay away, and I guess that holds true in other loops too. I'm gonna go now. And he turns and like speed walks towards Eminence.
I don't like this woman.
As he walks up to her, still in Harley's form, she puts a hand on his shoulder, and they begin walking away. And she is like speaking quietly into his ear as they walk.
If I ever catch that woman alone in a dark alleyway, ooh, bitch, you don't even know.
But you can reconvene with the rest of the group if you so desire. Literally.
Sheesh. Fuck, dude.
It's not a good day for you.
I hate morally ambiguous women, but I love them.
It's not this one.
I love them, just not this one.
She's disabled. She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
No, I'm disabled. Doesn't mean I'm allowed to do whatever I want.
Disabled and a girl boss? She can do some
Man.
crimes as a treat.
What does my minority status get me? Fucking
Yours savior or yours
slurs.
Benny?
My Benny isn't part of any oppressed groups.
He's literally a shifter.
Oh right.
There was literally a whole thing about how they were oppressed.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say he's literally gay, and I'm like, they're not impressed.
Not in the setting.
Not in this setting.
Uh, but
Okay.
you enter a room with the others with a file up on the screen of Harley Sharp.
Wow.
So I've done some digging.
Yeah, proverbial, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I got 2 boyfriends. One of them I'm married to. You gotta guess.
Just like right now.
No, never mind.
Just-
Forget I said. I don't know if this is like my shit to dis. Why are you looking at that file?
Well, I found it.
Right. Can I ask its relevance to shit
It was
that
in
is
H's. It was in H's file.
H like Harley?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah. We're getting
Right.
there. It was
Right.
on H's file. The H you just talked to is a new version with a quote-unquote bug removed.
Gloomy
Right.
blue guy from
Yeah.
the room.
So. Right.
The bug is humanity.
Okay. That seems a little introspective and philosophical for my understanding and tastes. I don't.
I mean, it's just a non-AI component. I don't know what else it could be.
Right.
But it was in the file and it was redacted, and I just didn't want it to be redacted anymore. I didn't know it was about Harley or anything. I just saw, for more information regarding those early versions, contact, and there was a redacted name, and I just unredacted it,
Right.
and now we're here.
Right.
My apologies to put this on you today.
Right. Yeah. Lacuna, I'm dating your cousin times 2, but like to the second power, and also he's alive, and he's your aunt's fucked. I think she's like evil light.
With a lot of questions about
Yeah.
what you said.
Right.
I guess I'm gonna go from order of seriousness here.
Sure. Yeah.
So, what squared? What does that mean?
Squared.
Yeah.
The same. I'm not too hot on the numbers, so I'm not too sure what squared means in reference to this. Harley, the Harley that was in our group and in Prophet's classes, and the one that you had little cousin moments with, like
Yeah.
the walking around one. Yeah. So, he's fine. Well, he's not fine. I think he's a little emotionally traumatized and confused, but aren't we all a little bit, I guess? That's that's that part. What's the other severity?
What does my aunt have to? Okay. Well, okay. Before we get to that,
Sure.
you're saying that he's alive, but
Yeah.
per what we looked at, he died like 20 years ago.
Right, yeah, I'm pretty sure that did happen, and that's why sort of the evil aunt shit comes in of riddle me this. You take you care your kid dies, I guess 20 years whatever the fuck ago. What the fuck, one sec. Kid dies whatever the fuck 20 years ago. You get a new kid, I guess. I fucking guess this is the thought process here. You get a fucking changeling kid, and you get that changeling kid to adopt the identity of your fucking dead kid, I guess. He's a little super villainy to me, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, I guess. I could be way out of line with that.
I don't think that's villainy. I think that's just fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I guess if shit gets fucked up enough, then you become that. Like what were your morals, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure I should have expected anything else at this point.
Right. Well, Mary is with your aunt right now. So
Tell him I'm sorry, I guess, the next time you see him.
I mean, you could talk to him if you want. I guess he's still your cousin, more or less. Just yeah.
You know him though, and we've not met a lot in the first place.
Right.
Especially, I guess, in the capacity of him being my cousin.
Fair enough.
But I'm gonna go lay down, I think. I will leave and go to whatever room I have.
Slay. It looks exactly the same, but none of your friends are in it.
Yep, fair enough. Gonna lay down.
Hell yeah. Then, as you lay down, are the rest of you also going to try and rest, or keep discussing?
I'm gonna also kind of, as Lacuna leaves, just kind of look at the other two and kind of like go, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go pace this fucking space station for a few hours. The anxious pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go get ready for work.
Slay.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you for playing game. We're
Hell
about to end.
Sorry my
soonish,
voice is so... Yeah, I gotta catch a
good.
bus though.
Get go off.
Get
No,
it.
I know.
Okay.
Get it.
I'm just letting
Thank
you know
you.
you're not missing.
Goodbye, thank
Bye.
you.
See
Goodbye.
ya.
Yeah. Good luck at work.
What a note to leave on.
Truly. But yeah. So Lacuna's off to lay down. Benny's off pacing.
Hey, Prophet.
Prophet and
How's
Tinker,
your
what are you
day?
guys doing?
I'm gonna get the... Prophet, you don't need anything here, I assume. Because I'm gonna make sure it's not found.
I think I'm okay, actually.
I figured. Yeah,
What's happened? What are you doing? Sorry.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm just taking the drive out so I don't leave it open, and incriminate myself for stealing internal documents.
Well, that sounds smart. I think.
Yeah, typically.
You're gonna keep the drive on you. You know, you're gonna destroy it. What's the deal?
I'll wipe it when I get the chance, but I guess we've all seen it. I don't see much reason to. I don't want to destroy it yet, but you know, I'll just hang on to it and I'll brick it if I have to.
Well, if you ever feel like destroying it, I feel in my soul that I have a spell
You have.
that can help set something on fire and kill it.
Is this new?
It is new. I just feel it in my bones. You know how it is.
Yeah, I don't know. They gave me a gun. Like a big
Who's
gun.
they?
The
Oh,
equipment. I opened my
they-
locker and there was a big gun in it.
I mean, if you want to swap, I'll take a gun. That sounds kind of funny.
I mean, I have a little gun. Did they give you a gun?
No, I got like a bone saw.
Do you want the little gun? I can give you the little gun.
You're allowed to have a gun.
I think it was in. I don't know if it was in your
Oh.
equipment.
I'm kidding. I have just found a gun in my pocket.
It's the doctor pockets. There's always another.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
It's a pocket gun, right? I understand.
You've heard
I'm-
of pocket sand. Get ready for pocket
I'm starting to figure out sort of what I can do here. And I think what they want me to do is make horrific chemical compounds. And then shoot them at people.
Um, does that sound like an activity that would enrich you? You know, does that sound enjoyable to you?
So it sounds interesting. I'm sure I could make more helpful things than, plague. Unfortunately, my knowledge on how to do that is a bit lacking given I didn't pass biology or
What?
chemistry. I didn't even start these topics. I just know what I'm doing off the book. So we're gonna figure it out.
If you needed an advisory hand on the biology and chemistry, I'm not saying I will help you create biological weapons, but I do have the knowledge if you were ever curious.
That I have a couple ideas in mind. So I don't need help creating like a biological super weapon, but if you were to suggest a chemical pathway, right? Something.
I'm sure that my expertise would cover such things. I mean, they did encourage no violence, so
Yeah.
maybe
mean-
it won't become pertinent.
Yeah. Besides, I can make helpful things, but okay. I guess I'll see you in office hours.
I mean,
You
does
know,
time work the same here? I don't really understand the whole dealio.
How
Is it
fast are we moving
bedtime?
How fast are we moving around this? Are we moving around the sun?
You have not seen the sun yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, regardless, if Lacuna's gone to bed, must mean it's bedtime, I suppose. So I am gonna do that also.
Yeah.
So,
I would if I could.
I mean, unsure how I can sleep with the new additions, and he gestures to the wings. Perhaps face down.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
I'm
Do you-
working with it.
I'm sure it'll be fine. If there was no way to sleep in that capacity, you were just in a pod sleeping with them for who knows how long, 3 years? I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, good luck falling asleep.
But you two,
I can't.
hey, been there, buddy, and then he fucking leaves.
I will just give Prophet some space and then I will leave as well.
all right. Then as you all separate, Prophet going to also lay down. Tinker, are you just going to be idle-ish in your room, or are you similarly taking a walk to Benny?
I guess I'll take a walk for a bit. I have time to kill. If I see anything, I gotta walk. I can just power down wherever I want to and still be aware. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't really need a room.
It's probably discouraged to just rest in the halls.
I'm
But,
just
like,
standing.
Slay.
I can just stand there, not moving. I can just stand around corners,
This is so true. Just like find like an awkward corner and just stand in it facing the wall.
What? Why would I face the wall when I can face the opening and just look
Yeah,
at
blow
people?
a witch.
I am fully aware.
Go off.
Well, technically, I don't know if that's in the Android stat block, but I don't think I need sleep any. Do I need sleep, actually?
I think
Um,
you need like an idle period.
um, it says, might affect, what the fuck? Yeah, I guess I'll just stick with the general sleep, but I technically, like, still, I don't, like, gain immunity to needing to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can idle. Um,
Yeah, we'll just treat it the same as we did in
okay.
D&D.
I, I think I am capable of sleeping now, but I don't think Tinker knows that yet, so they have no
Yeah,
reason to try.
they're just too used to like not
Standing.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Then, as you are all resting in your own forms, uh, Benny pacing, Prophet laying down, Lacuna laying down, the Tinker staring people down. I'm gonna spin a little wheel here. Hey, Prophet.
Hello.
You're laying down to rest, probably mindful of all the things that have happened in the past, what you perceive to be 24 hours, more like 3 years. Um, and as you close your eyes, it takes a while to get comfortable. Because I don't know about other people, but if I try to sleep in a position that's not the one I normally sleep in, it's hell.
Yeah.
So it takes a while, but eventually you find yourself drifting off, and you dream of that place again. The old broken down building, the pool of red liquid in front of you, of blood, of your hand held out over it, and you are about to drop something, and you can almost hear him goading you on, telling you that this has to be done, that this is what you've worked towards, this is the answer to everything you want. And this time you do see your death. It doesn't cut off before your death like when you briefly saw it before. This time you see the fungus fall from your hand, hit the blood, and it explode with rage. As the blood explodes into a tidal wave, splashes across the stone around you, across you, and something massive emerges from it. The blood sloughing off to reveal a large bone-white form. Something with a long neck, huge fangs. Incomprehensible in its skeletal form as it roars in your face, and you see as the amber eye infects it and begins to take over whatever it is. And you hear somebody cry out in pain and rage and fly from the blood. And all you see is a woman with a white mask, black hair flying around her, kind of feathers strewn in her quick movement as she swings a scythe and cuts off your head. And Prophet, that's how you died.
What the?
But it was not the end for you. Because as time rewound, as the world was reset, he stayed with you. He knew now that you were the one who could get it done for him. And the amber eye never left you. And even now you can feel it deep at the bottom of your lungs. And you can feel him standing over you and saying, "The work has just begun, Prophet. You'll live up to your name yet." Thank you for finally waking up. And the dream slips away from you.
Man. I died in the most, like, dying way possible. Aside, Wilder.
Well, man, what can I tell you?
That's so
Someone
fucking...
was very mad at you.
That's crazy, you can't imagine why.
Man, the mushroom guy shit really didn't work out for you, huh?
No.
That's tough.
Hey, Lacuna.
Oh no.
The good news is I can make
Man.
sedative antidepressants,
Haven't I
so
had
I'm here
enough?
for you.
Hasn't it been enough for Lacuna today?
You could have said that.
Uh,
Oh, I guess Betty would have told you anyway. Yeah, this is tough.
I don't know, man. I guess we're about to find out.
Man.
You are, laying down, resting. Maybe having an easier time resting with these wings since they're soft and not filled with bone. But
I got no bones. Good luck, everyone else.
you're resting, you're laying down, maybe lingering on your life about how your friends had all these crazy connections to things and you didn't up until now, up until all of this reset of you waking up out of the loop. And really, in your opinion, Lacuna, you didn't have crazy things going on with you. You didn't have an unresolved mystery. You didn't have mysterious powers. For you, everything was sensical. Maybe not being abandoned by your parents, but, well, terrible parents is not a thing of making sense or not making sense. It just is. What sticks out to you, Lacuna, in all of this is that these people, H said that you were chosen for a specific reason. That either you had a connection in life, which for, on all honesty, you can't figure out what that could be, or a connection in death. And your death had been falling into flame, into the sun. And you're not really sure what that has to do with anything. And then as you were lingering on this in this half-awake state, you hear someone. The voice is faint, but it's there, and it's repeating something over and over. You're only catching the ends of letters. It's a voice heavily accented, an accent you don't really recognize. And eventually you start to pick it out as it repeats this phrase over and over. Blood of my blood, love of the sun. Just again and again. And you again feel that pull to light. To heat and to light, and something that feels buried within you. You thought all along it was a moth joke, and yeah, it's kind of a moth joke. But also there is
Well, it's the
this
sun.
pull.
Anti-sun terrorism.
There is this pull to light into warmth. And somehow you know that whatever it was you were doing at that sun, you were freeing it somehow. And in that act of freeing the sun, you freed yourself from whatever it was that was holding you back. And you're not entirely sure what that means, but you lay there with that contemplation as you fall asleep. And this like intense need to like get really close to lamps.
Man.
The ultimate lamp, the sun. Hey, Tinker.
Fuck you. Alright, let me make...
Tinker, you're not sure what the meaning of the end of your life was. And in all honesty, you don't see your connection to a lot of these events that are being told to you about how apparently you have some kind of connection to whatever it was that ended the world, essentially. But you know some of your coworkers were working on something. You know that whatever it was highly secretive. That apparently to some degree they were willing to kill to hide it. And you know it was for a contract separate from Sharpiva. And what you see in this dream, it doesn't take much to realize it's a memory. You're not sure if it's from one of the loops, or maybe it's from the original life, even. But you remember stumbling upon something you shouldn't have found. You remember hearing the word weapon, and the word core. And you remember seeing that core, of being shown it, of being brought into the circle. And you realize in this part dream, part memory, when the world ended, you were not amongst the destruction. You were at the control board, watching it all be set off. And you remember watching the switches get flipped. And you remember seeing the world explode into color. And you can't recall how you got there, or what it meant, or who you were with. But you know somehow it was connected to whatever work it was that you were asked to consult on. And that is what you kind of realize in this rest period, where you can't fully dream. So really, it's more like a memory. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end session.
What a bombshell to end on.
I'm punting you into the sun.
Yikes.
No,
You're next.
no. I will only become stronger the more suns I
Devour, yeah.
Uh,
Well, I just found out I'm the Antichrist. Ask me anything.
Let's go.
Listen, you and Prophet shake hands.
True.
Dark soul. Good luck though.
Sometimes you participate in awful things just cause it's a little fun, you know?
You right, you right.
A little silly bit.
I'm
Waking up. to ash and dust. Anyways,
Quite literally.
I hope you guys had a good time.